Let's roll.
Discovery.
Hey B0, 31-month resub. Appreciate it. So, let's see. What do we got here for this booster? Let's take a look. So, Falcon Heavy is using the same two Falcon Heavy boosters from the last one. I know that. It's 1064 and 1065. Each one of those Falcon Heavy boosters is on their third reuse. Cool. 192-day turnaround from the last Falcon Heavy mission. And 1074 is the core, and it will be expended. So, EchoStar 24, Jupiter 3. Hey, Obi-Wan Jacoby, 6-month resub. Space Systems Loral announced in August 2017 that it has been selected by Hughes Network Systems LLC, a wholly owned subsidiary of EchoStar Corporation, to build the Jupiter 3 EchoStar 19 transformational ultra-high density satellite. Cool. Jupiter 3 EchoStar 24 is a large multi-spot beam Ka-band satellite based on the highly reliable SSL 1300 space-proven platform. SSL 1300 is a satellite bus. It's basically a chassis for a satellite, and you could just attach whatever antennas you want to it, which provides the flexibility to support a broad range of applications and technology advances. It features an entirely new architecture based on a broad range of technological advances, including miniaturization of electronics, solid-state amplifiers, and more efficient antenna designs allowing 500 gigabits per second throughput. That's pretty good. SSL has patented 18 technology advances that were incorporated into the spacecraft's design, enabling it to provide a highly concentrated capacity in critical areas. That's the only payload aboard today. It's 9,200 kilos, and it's going to a geostationary transfer. That's a big satellite. 9,200 kilograms. This thing is as big as a Greyhound bus. That's insane. What a monster. Hired, gifted a sub to Toby T85. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, dudes. Thank you. It's good. It's fun playing Kerbal again. It's fun. We'll build Star Raker. We'll do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but we will. I'm already thinking about ideas for a panel tessellator for that thing. Could probably get that to work right. I actually have another idea that would probably work as well. Rods from the gods are heavy, it seems. What? Doing an enhanced geostationary transfer orbit so there will be a 3-hour coast phase tonight. 3-hour coast? Just a 3-hour coast, Phil? I mean, after wait, 3 hours? Man, how fast is this thing going? I'm probably not going to cover the entire 3-hour coasts because I have to get up tomorrow. I have to get the stitches out for my tooth surgery tomorrow. So we're basically going to go to orbital insertion and then go from there. But Star Raker is KSP Moonraker, right? No. Type Chaos Google Rockwell Star Raker. We'll try for it. I want to try to build that. I need a new project that's not going to be too difficult for KSP. A challenge, but not like Launchpad crazy. Got to see you doing better on that front, sir. Yeah, I'm alright. 9 tons is crazy, and the second stage has that gray stripe on it. That's for better thermals, T-Man. Yep. It's going to raise perigee halfway to apogee like ULA does in their enhanced GTO missions. Oh. It's going to raise perigee halfway to apogee like ULA does in their enhanced GTO. So like a bioelliptic transfer, Phil? Well, that sucks, dude. You didn't get the biodegradable stitches? Nope, they're still there. Yep. Tweet, you were a fan of Dart, actually? Might be able to get Dart going. I don't know. Maybe we'll do Star Raker, man. I don't know. You want to see Dart work? I don't know. Maybe. Perhaps. The thing is just another lost piece of awesomeness. So many cool things we never got. The 10 jet engines that are on at Chaos are basically Hydrolox SR-71 engines. Or just hydrogen SR-71 engines. Yeah. That's a little bit of a tall order. That J58 that runs on hydrogen does not exist. You know, so that's probably the reason why they're not. I don't know. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. Star Raker would be cool, but I kind of want to do other things. But yeah, okay, Phil. I see what they're doing. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. That was a really interesting concept that you built. Build Star Raker? Okay. Hey, are we watching Falcon Heavy? As soon as the stream goes live. That was weird. That was weird. I don't like that. Kyron, you got this. Ad time. Okay, ready. Boop. We'll run ads now to make sure that nobody gets an ad during the launch. How deep are you going to jump back into KSP1? Because if your game, I'd say just do your thing. Make your own infrastructure. Weather Guy, I think Star Raker is a good enough project. I don't know if we want to go too deep back into KSP1, but Star Raker is a good enough challenge that, yeah, it should be fun. It should be more building it and actually putting the thing together and crashing it and stuff instead of me sitting there trying to think about better ways hierarchically to make a launch pad work or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. KSP2 should have re-entry coming sooner rather than later, and when it gets re-entry, then I want to go mess with that. They're KSP2, right? So I don't want to dive too far back in. Also, Starfield's coming out in about a month, and then Cities 2 is coming out a month after that. So, yeah, maybe not get too involved with the project, but Star Raker should be... I could do that in about a month, I think. Yeah. I mean, there's also other games, want to work in Satisfactory and stuff too. So yeah, shouldn't be too bad. Oh my God, I didn't know if I shared, but 2 weeks ago when I was in LA, I was outside SpaceX HQ with some friends. Right behind us, Jesse Anderson came out.
Discovery, go
She came out. You can't make this stuff up. Did you say hi, Ian?
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Gagan, 89 months of dead scum with a 14-month. You did, yeah. Now, here's the real question. Did she know who you were? Yeah, Synchro, here's my thing with Starfield. I'll go and play Starfield, and you all can just watch me play Starfield, and you can either judge whether Todd Howard is a freaking genius or whether he's, not that. So... just play vicariously through me if you're skeptical, and don't get me wrong, I'm skeptical myself. I'm not pre-ordering that game. I ain't falling for that crap again.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
No, you were there with Chris G, Thomas, Jack, Michael, and Paulina Kalin. If she recognized any of us, she didn't say anything. Oh yeah, Ian, I saw those pictures posted. Yeah, and Chris was saying, "Oh, West Coast, best coast." Yeah, whatever, pal. They were like, "Oh, West Coast, best coast." No, don't believe the lies. Hey, Max. 3-month gift sub, courtesy of All Systems and Belkin.
Nice launch check and countdown. Pad is clear.
Chris is a friend, but a liar.
Sequence has started.
6, 5, 4.
Yeah, Pandorific, me too. All right, here we go, dudes.
Go for launch.
Let's cap off this stream with a nice Falcon Heavy launch.
Vehicle is supersonic.
Stage separation confirmed. Dragon separation confirmed. Stage 1 is transonic. Landing legs have deployed. And Falcon 9 has landed.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Falcon Heavy webcast for tonight's Jupiter 3 mission. My name is Ronnie Foreman, and I'm joining you from the West Coast, from SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California, to follow our Falcon Heavy rocket liftoff from Launch Complex 39A at Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
Kilos.
Today's
She's big.
launch marks SpaceX's
Oh,
third
look at
Falcon
that.
Heavy mission this year and sixth operational Falcon Heavy mission overall.
That's nice.
Today, we'll be launching the Hughes Jupiter 3 EchoStar 24 satellite into space for our customer EchoStar and their Hughes Network Systems division. The Jupiter 3 payload on board the second stage was built by Maxar and will be the largest commercial communications satellite ever to launch into geostationary orbit, weighing over 9 tons. Once operational, Jupiter 3 will help meet demand for HughesNet satellite internet in rural areas of the United States and Latin America, as well as demand for Explore service for rural customers in Canada. In addition to supporting enterprise and government applications, Jupiter 3 will also power higher-speed satellite internet service plans in North America, while helping to expand and enhance HughesNet across Mexico, Brazil, and South America. We'll have more about our customer and their payload later on during the show.
Fun fact, Hughes, that's a company that was founded by Howard Hughes, the airplane guy. Yeah. That's that Hughes. Pretty cool, huh? That's pretty neat.
Time. The vehicle started propellant loading around the T-minus 50-minute mark and is nearly fully loaded with propellants now. Weather is green and the range is also ready to support. But if for some reason we don't launch today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow at the same time.
Beastie. What a monster.
The Falcon Heavy that you can see on your screen is essentially 3 Falcon 9 rockets strapped together.
62 months.
Having 3 cores instead of just the one on Falcon 9 means that we are using 27 engines between the 2 side boosters and center core today, and that allows us to carry heavier payloads to various orbits in space.
Nice.
From a technical standpoint, we are creating a more powerful first stage that carries more fuel and
What a
burns longer
beast.
than the first stage on a typical Falcon 9 mission.
What a freaking beast.
Now, at the very top of our rocket, as you can see on your screen, is our payload fairing. This is where the Jupiter 3 satellite is safely enclosed between 2 composite pieces.
Show us a picture. I want to see
The
how big
fairing
this thing
protects
is.
the payload from aerothermal
Right, right.
loads, heating, and contamination during ascent. Once we reach the vacuum of space, though, the fairing isn't needed anymore, so we will jettison both halves as the second stage continues on its journey to orbit.
What's he doing?
Both fairings supporting
Does.
today's mission are flight proven, with one half flying for its 5th time and the other for its 6th. Once those fairing halves separate from the second stage, we will of course be attempting to recover them again today with the help of our recovery vessel, Doug.
Doug?
Now, right below the fairing, we have a second stage, which is connected to the 28th engine on board Falcon Heavy. This is our Merlin vacuum engine, and its job is to power the payload to its final targeted orbit once the center core and second stage separate.
Next year,
The second stage for this mission is also debuting a new medium coast configuration. Just in case you didn't know, our second stages have 3 general configurations: standard, medium, and long coast. And we use different configurations depending on how long the second stage needs to operate after launch. A medium coast kit, which is what we're using today, provides better performance for some missions and
Medium
includes
coast,
an
best
added
coast?
battery loaf or power pack, a painted gray stripe on the outside of the fuel tank,
Thermal.
and other hardware to make sure that the fuel and stages systems operate as long as needed. Now, if you look very closely at the stage 2 on your screen,
Nice,
you can just
Nachos.
barely see that stripe of gray
Congratulations,
paint
man.
that I mentioned. While in space, that paint will absorb some heat from the sun in order to keep the second stage fuel
Cool,
warm
Nachos.
enough for our long flight today.
Hey, Apple II.
Payload deployment for Jupiter 3 is scheduled to occur after 3 second stage engine burns
That's cool.
and occur around the T+3 hour and 30-minute mark. We
Money.
hope you'll stick with us till the end. Now, moving further down the rocket, as I mentioned a
each have
little
their
bit
own
earlier
today.
today, we have 3 Falcon
gotta
9
come back
rockets
and land
essentially
somehow,
strapped
dude.
together. All 3 constitute our first stage. Each of the side boosters on either side of the center core are flying for the 3rd time on today's mission, having previously supported 2 Falcon Heavy flights, USSF 44
Yes.
and 67. A couple of minutes after liftoff, we'll attempt to recover both side boosters with a land landing on landing zones 1 and 2.
Clayton, what is taking this up? What's it taking up? It's taking up EchoStar 24 satellite. It's a geostationary satellite, so the satellite's huge. The thing's probably about the size of a Greyhound bus. A shorter Greyhound bus, but yeah, that's about the right size. Maybe a Mack truck, like a big semi truck, somewhere around there. And it weighs pretty much the same. Yeah, it is. This is a big satellite.
That's because this mission requires more performance than we have
After
to be
the
able
launch,
to recover
yes.
the center core, and that landing hardware isn't needed. But don't worry, today's launch should still be a very exciting one, especially if you're joining us from the Space Coast tonight, where you should be in for some beautiful nighttime landing views. And now, as promised, here's a bit more information about our customer and satellite today.
For over half a century, we've been on a journey to connect people, enterprises, and things around the world. Innovation
connect all the
runs
things.
deep in our veins. From developing the
Jupiter.
two-way VSAT in the 1980s, to inventing satellite internet in the 1990s, to launching the first modern-era telecommunications satellite in the 2000s. We've tackled
chance,
the
Matt.
biggest connectivity challenges and applied our engineering excellence to
It's in
uncover
Florida.
innovative ways to connect the unconnected. Since
It's
the
not
launch of the first Hughes high-throughput satellite, we have engineered some of the highest capacity broadband satellites in the world. And now, our
There is
latest
any.
and greatest innovation
We already ran
launches
out.
a new era of connectivity. Jupiter 3, the world's largest commercial communications satellite. 26 feet tall when stowed, it boasts 14 solar panels unfurled. This massive satellite
about
was purpose-built
7.5
and
meters
engineered
tall.
like no satellite
That is
before. Hundreds of team members have devoted countless
Like I
hours
said.
to bring Jupiter 3 to life.
Dude, friggin' Mack truck. Look at that thing. It's gigantic. Holy crap.
It brings total throughput to more than 1 terabit per second.
Why is it so big?
Enabling more capacity, better service, and faster speeds.
It enables more connectivity, better service, and faster speeds.
Spot beams. Jupiter 3 expands our reach to nearly 80% of the population across North and South America. The engineering ingenuity built into Jupiter 3 will expand the connected experience. For the
Terabit of
family in
bandwidth.
Ohio,
All right.
streaming movies on a Friday night. For the student in Mexico, expanding her horizons with access to technology and educational tools. For the farmer in rural
It's very simple, guys. So, like, the satellite, that satellite is so big so they can stick more tubes in it. And if they have more tubes in it, there's more internet in it, okay? Because the internet is a series of tubes. Fun fact, bet you didn't know that.
his doctor by telehealth. For the ranger at a national park, coordinating in real time with emergency responders. For the mango grower in Brazil, expanding her family business nationwide and internationally. For the entrepreneur in Ecuador, promoting his business and taking customer orders. For the grandmother in Mississippi, meeting her new grandchild by video chat. All this and more as Jupiter 3 launches a new era of join us.
Did the thing stop talking?
With liftoff just about 6 minutes and 15 seconds from now, the vehicle and payload are healthy, and propellant load is well underway on the launch pad. Speaking of the
Wait a
launch
minute.
pad, you may often
Did they say romance? God damn it. Okay.
surface, carrying NASA astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins in July of 1969. So we're just about a week past the 54 anniversary.
Of Apollo
54-year
11.
anniversary. And after numerous launches of the Saturn V and Space Shuttle vehicles, the launch pad was leased to SpaceX in 2014. Since then, we've launched 66 missions and 38 humans to space from Launch Complex 39A. Today's mission will mark SpaceX's 249th
east,
overall
SpaceX.
mission to date, our 67th mission from 39A, and 50th launch of 2023. We look forward to reaching even greater space milestones
back
on
out.
this launch pad for years to come. Now, coming up next, we should hear the call out for strong back
Something
retract.
Like that, RJ, yeah. told you, there's more tubes, so there's more internet on it. Usenet, need some of that internet money. Farmville on Facebook counts as game.
Falcon Heavy tanks are pressing for strongback retract.
Don't? No.
So there you heard Mission Control confirming that we are pressurizing the tanks
No.
ahead of strong back retraction. Next up, the clamp arms around the second stage, which you can't really see because they're being obscured by those LOX clouds there, are going to begin to open. And that truss structure next to the
Depends on
vehicle,
where you
known
are,
as the
Sid.
strong back, will retract away from Falcon Heavy.
Strong backed. A lot of tubes. Okay. Seem to be virtually no wind. so
Again,
launch
those
conditions
clouds
look
that you
pretty
see
good.
forming around the vehicle are nothing to worry about. That's actually liquid oxygen
Nice.
boiling off the surface of the tanks inside the rocket. As that boiled off liquid oxygen meets the warm Florida air, it's forming actual clouds around the vehicle.
No. They have cold propellants in the second stage. Liquid oxygen. It's very cold. Minus 293 Fahrenheit. It's freaking really cold. Okay, don't lick it. Because of that, the metal on the stage gets really, really cold. It gets cold enough to condense the water vapor in the atmosphere. That's why you have the condensation clouds. Now those puffing clouds that are coming out the sides are ullage vents. Okay? The ullage vents are there to manage the boil off because the liquid oxygen that's inside of Falcon Heavy is also boiling because in order to store oxygen as a liquid, it needs to be really, really cold and at really high pressure. And because of that, it boils, like boiling a pot of water on the stove. Okay? So because it's boiling, you can overpressurize the tanks if you don't constantly vent. You have to keep venting them. That extra pneumatic pressure that's inside from the propellants boiling off is called ullage. The vents on the side of Falcon Heavy will vent the ullage to make sure that the tanks don't overpressurize. The tanks need to be at a constant pressure so they can feed propellants into the motors correctly. So if you see the vent right there that's above the countdown clock, there's two of them on Falcon Heavy. One of them is facing us, the other one's facing that way. Now the first stage also has vents that are very similar to this. They're down there though.
Just about 25 seconds left of
It's a
liquid
snow cone
oxygen
maker.
loading.
Yeah, don't lick it. Don't lick it. You'll regret doing that, especially in about 2 minutes. Enjoy that, Jason. Remember, Jason, you're Knuff, okay? They scienced the snot out of this rocket. Yep. 2 minutes. Well, you could lick the screen. I mean, if you wanted to do that, Eddie, Edie, you could do that. Is the fairing cold too? No. The fairing's at ambient, RJ. The fairing does have vents though. You see those things that are on the sides right there? Those are vents to make sure that no gases get caught inside of it. Because remember, as the rocket's going up, the fairing is pretty much sealed. Those are positive pressure vents. Basically, all the air will pool because it's under acceleration, right? And if the ambient pressure goes down, all the air will pool at the bottom of the payload fairing. So there's little vents on the sides, and all the air actually goes out as the rocket goes higher. They do that to make sure that the fairing doesn't pressurize. You don't want that to happen. That would be bad. I did run an ad cage in, and we are live already. How much is the center stage throttle down for Falcon Heavy? I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head, Sea Kraken, but they do throttle the core stage to make its burn time longer.
As you may have just heard over the nets, we just heard an abort called out from our launch director. We're waiting for other updates from Mission Control, so stay tuned, and we'll come back with an update as soon as we can.
Okay, so they had a called abort at 65 seconds. That's before auto sequencer start, guys. That's before the primary handover to Falcon Heavy's computers, meaning that this is not something that the launch sequencer has caught, if I'm understanding this right. This was a manually triggered abort. They saw something they didn't like. Yeah, they I told you not to lick the rocket, Jeff. How long's the window? 90 minutes on the window, guys. Well, that moon is getting in the way, W. You see it up there on the right? It's definitely getting in the way. Abort doesn't equal hold, though, right? That was very quick, S. Oh, manual vent down. Well, not a manual vent down. That's a vent down on the cores. So those vents, the ones that face downwards up at the top, I thought they were going to cut the audio in. Those vents are ullage tank vents. That's to bring the pressure down. Those are like the main vents. Those vents usually fire at the end of the mission, like after Falcon 9 is landed. That's the main tank vent down, basically. Yeah, to keep the tank from overpressurizing after landing. I'm not going to call them abort vents, but those are if you need to alleviate pressure inside of the side boosters. That's a way to do it really quickly. Falcon 9 usually does that automatically after it lands. Sorry, Oxy. There's an incoming storm, but it looks 2 hours away from the Cape. So this is an abort. Well, it's pending. Once again, they aborted it at 65 seconds. At 60 seconds, Falcon Heavy goes into auto sequencer start. That's basically when they flip the brain on Falcon Heavy. They flip the computer on, and they shut it off from the grid so it's running off of its own batteries. When the autosequencer initiates, the first thing that the computer's going to do is basically take a look around, so to speak, on the entire rocket. It's going to mod check the entire rocket and make sure that all the sensors are reading correctly. We didn't even get to that point. And because we didn't get to that point, and because we didn't get a handover into the autosequencer, this was most likely a manually triggered abort. This was somebody hitting the no button in mission control.
All parties on countdown 1, please be advised that we have scrub for the night on Falcon Heavy.
Yep. Well, that's that. That is the moon off and to the right, yeah. Yep. Mission director saw something he didn't like. It was the MD. I think it may have been the MD or the launch director saying abort right off the bat, so he saw something he didn't like.
If you've been
That's not
following
good.
along, you know we had an abort during the countdown tonight at T-minus 1 minute and 5 seconds. Prior to that, the countdown was proceeding nominally. And keep in mind that the purpose of the countdown is to help us catch potential issues prior to flight. There are 1,000 ways that a launch can go wrong and only one that it can go right. So given that, we are overly cautious on the ground, and if the team or the vehicle sees anything that just looks even slightly off, they'll stop the countdown.
We usually don't hear
Again,
the
the
reason
vehicle
under.
and payload are in good health, but this will end our launch attempt for today. Our next launch opportunity is tomorrow around the same time, so keep an eye on our social media channels for updates. Hopefully you'll join us. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time.
Told you guys not to lick the rocket. You didn't listen to me. All right, well, as the SpaceX commentator, as Ronnie just said, yeah, it's not worth it to take the chance. That satellite's a 9,200 kilogram satellite, and now the weight of the mass of the satellite doesn't necessarily correlate to its cost. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that EchoStar 24 is not cheap to replace. It took years to get this thing onto this pad. Not to mention building the Falcon Heavy, putting it together. A launch campaign for a satellite of this size takes years to get it right.
Go and throttle up.
You can wait an extra 24 hours. Don't force the issue. Every time somebody tries to force the issue with rocket science, it usually ends in an explosion. Just tranquilo. Just chill. Wefrel, 33-month resub. So I put 1,100 miles on the Jeep since the last oil change, and I think it's good for 2,000-mile drive. Should I do it again? Do it after your trip, S. Yeah. So, once again, guys, they didn't get into auto sequencer handover, so this was manually triggered. They saw this was somebody looking at the computer and going, that's not right. Nope. And we didn't hear hold. We heard straight abort from the mission director, which is, I don't think that's necessarily anything bad. It's just sometimes, maybe a sensor. It could be a bad sensor or something. There's 1,000 different parts on this dang, or a million different parts on this dang thing, and all of them have to work correctly. So, yeah, it was definitely the best I could say is that that was definitely a manual abort. That wasn't the computer saying, no, Don't. This is bad. I don't like that. That Kerbal is playing Galaga. You know, like, that's... It's not anything like that. So, yeah. They said they called 24-hour scrub, but yeah. We'll be around tomorrow for it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it kind of sucks to end the day like that. But hey, it is what it is. Mission director detecting rocket licking. Yep. Nice, goalie. I think I found the problem. That plane's outside of the TFR. Maybe it wasn't when it flew by, who knows. Wouldn't you make more ad rev if you roll it right at launch? At Back Alley, I don't run ads to make money. I run ads so you guys can see the launch with no ads. The reality of the situation is, dude, I don't make that much money off ads. So, not everything is about min-maxing, dude. I'd rather have a nice quality stream where we all can enjoy the rocket launch, right? Rather than trying to min-max my ads so I can make $5 extra bucks every day. Screw that. Your well-being is important to me. No, seriously, I hate ads. They're annoying, they're intrusive, and they're really distracting, and they make me insane. So, I can't tell you how much it would suck to see the stream and see me going, oh, and the rocket launch going in the background, and then clicking on that thumbnail and seeing an ad for... You know, you'd be like, you're watching the Twitch stream, and then a man comes on and tells you how white your shirts can be, but he can't be a man because he doesn't smoke the same cigarettes as me. We can't get no satisfaction here, okay? Does that make sense? Add my vans. Thanks, man. Stunt man.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I think so, Havocs, yeah. Have I ever told you how much I appreciate your stance on ads? Because I really appreciate your stance on ads. Alright, cool. Cool. Launch a slip, new date is unconfirmed. Yeah, so we had a scrub, guys. It does stink, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, I don't like min-maxing you guys like that. You're not just text on a screen, you're people that are watching the stream. And I don't know about you guys, when I'm watching streams, I hate ads popping up in the middle of a conversation. That annoys me. I don't know about you. I hate that. I really don't like that. Defect's like, I'm just text. Alright. Alright, let's see what we got.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
RJ gifted a sub to WW. Thank you. Sí, mañana. Sí. Hasta mañana, amigos. Crinkle, min-max D's. Oh, min-max D's bits. Got him. Thanks, man. And Brand, thanks for the tip as well. So does this flip Starlink or do we get a double event? Sully, you have a question.
Discovery,
okay.
go at throttle up.
Fyodor. Spasiba. Thanks, man. I appreciate the 5 subs. Thank you very much. We are our bots. Beep, boop, boop, boop. Sully, I'm waiting for your question. I'm also trying to see who we can raid, so let's go. What's the difference between apparent magnitude and real magnitude? What's the context there? I don't understand. This would put them an hour apart. I mean, goalie, it's possible. I'm going to guess that Starlink is going to push if whatever they found with Falcon Heavy isn't too severe. You think they should have kept SN15? Oh, absolutely. Apparent magnitude has a lot of responsibility. If the problem is ground side, how much will it affect the next crew mission? Depends on the severity of the problem, Cajun. Violation of abort criteria. What? Never heard that before. Standing down from tonight's Falcon Heavy launch off the Hughes Connect Jupiter 3 mission due to a violation of abort criteria. Sully, look at S Master's response. Violation of abort? Violation of abort criteria. Never heard that one before. So abort criteria would be the set of circumstances that they need to... No, that doesn't make sense. Abort criteria is really more contingent to a crew mission than anything. Elon said, nah, bro, we need to put the X name there because of Twitter. What do you mean, Sully? X is already in the name. X has been in the name for 20 years. It's right there. Read the sign, man. Just kidding, man. I mean, how many X's you want, dude? Chat, don't say 3. Please don't say... Damn it. I walked into that one, didn't I? Yep. Yep. 69. There you go. All right. Possibly that they saw an issue that would have caused the auto aborter to not trigger properly. Yeah, it's possible, dude. It's possible. 3 seashells? You don't even know how to use those. Boat in the abort zone? Yeah, the only thing I can really think of, violation of abort criteria, would mean if the rocket, if they had to terminate the rocket, yeah, boat in the range or plane in the range. So W, you may have been right. It's possible. Violation of abort criteria means that something on the checklist of things that have to be good wasn't good and thus they had to abort. Criteria would include weather, range, safety. Yeah, this sounds like boat or plane in the range, dudes. Yeah, that might be a boat in the range. Crap. Huntress. My boyfriend is in the air flying, hopefully and possibly see it tomorrow. Huntress, make sure he doesn't fly into the temporary flight restriction so we can all enjoy the launch. I'm just kidding. But also, please. Please don't do that. Don't fly into the temporary flight restriction. That's really bad for the rocket. You won't. All right, cool. Please don't do that. Like, I'm mostly kidding. Range violation would be a hold. This is something more technical, IMO. I don't know. I don't know. There's not really enough information presented. I do know it was a manual. It was a manual trigger. Somebody physically hit the abort button. It's just weird because usually the rock comes screaming on the nets, hold due to range violation. Yeah, it's very weird. Andrew, you're at Jetty Park. Lots of barges and other vessels off near the area by the pier. Yeah, those are out of the way, but yeah. So a needed abort mode was made invalid due to some third party something, so scrub. Yeah, passing, that's what I'm surmising from this, but that could be anything. That was weird though. I've never seen them just go abort. They usually go hold because that's the protocol. That's the protocol on the countdown loop. On the countdown loop, if you see anything, anybody that's in mission control can trigger a manual abort. It doesn't matter if it's the guy that's looking at the battery charge, right? Or the person that's looking at the avionics, or the person that's looking at fuel or temperature or whatever. Anyone can hit the abort button when you get past a certain threshold. The certain threshold for SpaceX, I think, for the hold criteria is pre-fueling operations. So that would have been like a couple hours ago. But hold criteria was not even used here. It was just straight abort, which, yeah, I've never heard that before. That's a new one. Ren the Hoik couldn't resist hitting the big red abort button. Will you button me, Ren? Sure thing, pal. The MDLD had to poop? Yeah, maybe. All right. Okay. I think that's enough internet today. In before stowaway in the payload. No. Okay. That's enough internet for the day. You guys, what do you guys want to do? You guys want to, let's see. We could watch GTA RP. So Haas is playing GTA RP. Let's see. Who else is out and about? Saber's streaming. Sea of Thieves. Grab Shark's playing BattleBit. Etal's playing more Satisfactory. I don't know. I've been watching his streams. So I think we should go get a huge Falcon Heavy raid over to Etal. Actually, you know what? You know what we need to do? We need to do Scrub raid. Just like that. Scrubbed raid! Let's go see what Alex is up to. He's a good dude. He's doing a new Satisfactory playthrough, because Update 8 came out. We've been raiding him a lot lately, but I do like watching his stream. He's a good streamer. Real good. You gonna raid a scrub? Dude, I really hope that if we all go in there and say scrub stream, he doesn't think we're talking. Whatever. Send it. Do it anyway. Send it. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow at noontime. We'll try to get going on that Star Raker project. If not, we'll play more Satisfactory. I don't know. Maybe we'll do Satisfactory, Space News, and then Kerbal. Something like that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a good night. Go see what Etal's up to. And I'll talk to you guys all tomorrow around noon. Thanks, everybody. Sorry about the scrub. It happens. But we'll be back here for coverage tomorrow as well. So we got another long stream tomorrow. So maybe we'll just play everything. Sounds good to me. All right. See you guys. Night. Thank you.